Good evening to every one of you. Let me share with you. Normally, we have in our human body three areas: the mind, the heart, and the tongue. All must speak in the uniform singular language. Then the person is considered to be a genuine person. My mind can think something, my heart can feel something, my tongue can speak something. Then you are a very dangerous person. In the same way, in our life also, concerning with the bankers, we split into three: policy creators, beneficiaries, obviously the entrepreneurs or the micro, small, medium, even large scale industries, which is the heart. And the tongue is obviously the policy makers, which can be RBI and it can be a finance ministry. And the brain of execution is obviously the financial institutions, banks, NBFCs, or the money giving institutions. Now let's understand, in the last 3 months, all of us have met with an accident. The COVID has destabilized every one of us. It's like a bus carrying several passengers of different age, different economy backgrounds, different status-oriented people, gender, traveling, meet with an accident, which is all of a sudden, and that too, a very dangerous accident. What happens? There are some who loses their life. There are some who are gravely injured, some who are absolutely not injured at all, and there are some who come out with minor injuries. What do we do? The first thing what we do is to give them a first aid and then rush them to the hospital and then attend on them depending on which category they belong to. Let's now talk about the policy. As far as I'm limiting my discussion today only with relation to the loans and the institutions which are availing it. I will not digress beyond that at all, as far as today evening meeting is concerned. Now let us understand, what is the first aid which has been addressed now by the government? The first aid which has been addressed to the MSME or micro and small enterprises largely is their 3 lakh crore loan and another about some 20,000, some 10,000 crores worth of packages. The government estimates that it will benefit close to about 47 lakhs units. 45 lakhs for 3 lakhs crore, the balances are put together and about 47 lakhs beneficiaries out of 6.5 crore existing players. Now, after 45 days, we are now seeing 15% is the people who have really got the money in their hand. The sanctions are about 35%. So 50% of the sanction is what the people have got in their hand. There is somebody who has announced publicly saying, I have money but no takers. You know whom I'm talking. The largest banker in this country had announced saying, I have money but no takers. All of us in the MSME sector have been saying, give me the money, I need the money. There is a gap between the cup and the lip, as Mr. Franco said. Now, why is that? The sanctions are almost double and the dispersals are only half. What does it indicate? So there is a water in the tank and there is a tap point. There seems to be certain filtrages, leakages or blockages in the pipeline. Let's try and understand what's the pipeline losses. The first point is the methodology in which the scheme has been conceived itself seemingly has flaws. It has been expressed, not once, not twice, but on a daily basis it has been expressed. Where are the flaws? Let me list few of them. 1, cutoff date. You take 29/2/2020 as a date on which if there is any outstanding, 20% of it will be given. Any entrepreneur, you ask him, on the last day of the month, we always keep the maximum money available in our account so that we are able to meet the first week commitment. So obviously, on the day of 29/2, my loan which has been availed has been kept at the minimal for the expenses. Why it should not have been taken as the date of the lockdown period? Actually, that is fair. No? 24th of March should have been the cutoff date. So many felt the money what the bank is ready to give me is not sufficient. Then the second aspect, huge documentation. The banks were insisting on documentations after documentation, signature, balance sheets, and utilization certificates. Then the third one, if I had given my property for an existing loan, most of them, why most? 100% of the financial institution who extended this credit guarantee scheme asked and insisted on MODT charges. What is that MODT? I have to go to the registration office, pay the fees to the government, and register the property document for an additional value of the loan which I have received. I incur cost, I incur movement, and I incur documentation. Then the fourth, even after the sanction, while the sanction is given, some are given 10%, some are given 20%, there is no rationale behind it. Then next, I got the sanction. The bank says, give me the utilization certificate. Now, when I give the utilization certificate, the first priority of the banker in issuing my loan is all the governmental dues, whether it is PF, ESI, GST, income tax, TDS. They first directly disperse that. Then the second, the salary, they directly disperse. Then the third, sundry creditors, they directly disperse. Then what do I get in my hand? Actually nothing. And if I don't get anything, and if there is an additional loan gets added onto my account, why do I need it? So the problem is, again, brain, the tongue, and the heart are not syncing. What I want is not known to you, or what you want to do is not known to somebody else, and we are in chaotic situation. The biggest problem today, you know what? Just because of the few willful defaulters, all the entrepreneurs are called as willful criminals. And in the same way, just because few officers in the banking system have flawed, every banker is being looked at as he is doing it with a vested interest, every decision. Can we live under this kind of fear psychosis? I was in the event organized by Mr. Franco or the All India Bankers Association during demonetization, and we gave a standing ovation to the banking officials who stood and listened to everybody's pains and distributed right cash for the wrong cash. Same way today in COVID situation, I'm grateful, I'm thankful to all the bank officials. In spite of the pressure, in spite of everything, they have come to the bank. They have answered the people. They have taken care. But is it enough? End of the day, if we don't get happiness, what do we enjoy in life? What gives happiness for an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur gets happy only when he makes his customers happy, when he makes his employees happy, when he makes his investors happy, and when he makes his supplier happy, all the stakeholders for which he is responsible for. In spite of his best of efforts, sometimes he may not be able to keep everybody happy. No one in this world can deliver 100% happiness to anybody. But we can appreciate the intent. You know, there is a saying we used to say, whether you are sincere or not, it is also important that you appear to be sincere. We must be genuine. Today, what have we done? What have we achieved? We have achieved nothing. Have we helped the industries to survive? No. 35% of the MSEs are getting wound up. The self-employed people are struggling. I assume there is a driver who makes about 30 to 35,000 rupees a month. For 3 months of his income being lost, it's close to about 1 lakh. Where does he recoup it in this year? In any industry, if we divide the April to March as 4 quarters, 70% of our businesses are done during the first quarter and the last quarter. The quarter 2 and 3 is only 30% of the turnover. Why? Because of the climatic problems, because of the festival seasons that comes up. Now, in this financial year, last year's quarter 4 is lost. This year's quarter 1 is lost. So 70% of my income has been lost. How do I survive? It's easy to give motivational talks. A guy who doesn't have the pain in his stomach can always talk and preach. Preachers don't practice. It's easy. Do you know the toughness of a life of an entrepreneur? When everybody thinks he can do, but he is unable to deliver. When the expectations are high, he is not able to give them what it is. That makes him sick. That makes him lose his interest in life. I have seen many people. It was easy to blame the migrant laborers walking on the road. One of the reasons is the employers who have not looked after them. It is not so. There may be some, as I told you already, the wrong people are always existent. Can the wrong people become the norm of the industry? Cannot. Yes, we open a newspaper today, we will read 80% of the news only negative news. That does not mean only negativity happens in the world. Positivity is accepted and negativity is not accepted, so it is propagated. So today there is a problem. Even if the bank official who builds a relationship with an entrepreneur, I know my bank manager like my family friend. I bank with Indian Bank and it's called my relationship banker. And we always have a relationship manager. Forget the KYC. We are not no more machines and robotics in life. India is known for a personal touch. There are plenty of days an entrepreneur walks into the bank manager's room and says, "Sir, please discount this check, sir. Give me some money, sir. Today I need." The bank manager will sign and give me the money. Have we not seen that? Have we not seen that love and affection or the building of relationships? Today we have become programmed human beings. Do's and don'ts are clear. Nobody wants to cross the Lakshman Rekha. Nobody wants to do anything, even if they think it is fair, they are afraid of the repercussions. Do you know, yesterday our RBI chairman is saying, NPAs are going to be on the rise. I discussed with many my NBFC friends. Today you open a newspaper, you see only auction sale notices of home loan takers. We are going to see this very common. There are two things which we are seeing it as a very common in a newspaper. One is the column of obituary is becoming from 20-30 people to a full page material now. Same way, the columns of auction sale notice, possession notice, recovery notices are occupying newspaper. Both of them are not good. It is very important. Sometimes do what your conviction is. When we are clear with what we want to do and we have nothing to fear, I request my friends in the banking sector, please act what you think is right. An entrepreneur saved is indirectly, we are saying, thousands of people's job opportunities. Have we not heard? Out of about 14 million employees, we are going to lose 30 to 35% of job loss is coming. The curve is increasing. Is it good? A state like Tamil Nadu is generating about 10 lakhs of engineers every year. What will be my youth will do if they don't get a job? Have we talked about it? I may be happy in my life at the age of 60. I have seen life is. But what about my young generation? If they don't get the right job, if they don't get the right salary, if they don't get the right proposals, will it be good for us? As a father, will we be happy? We will not be. We have larger interest to look after. Yes, criminals must be punished. I am not vouching for them, but genuine people must be helped. What happened to our NPA norms? What is NPA norm? NPA norm is supposed to be a early warning signal. Suppose if an industry is not able to repay their loan or service their loan in over 3 months continuously, they will be classified as a non-performing asset so that the radar picks them up and they are under watchful eyes. Now, by pushing the early warning signal, what happens? When you realize that they are not good, everything is gone. There's nothing which can recover out of it. Should we tinker with the early warning signal or should we tinker with the process of handling the early warning signal? Obviously, the right methodology is to handle the early warning signal with the result. All of us, whether it is the government or the policymaker or the executors like the NBFC or the entrepreneurs, we have first our interest to be safeguarded, second, our national interest to be safeguarded. What is our interest? All of us have only one bottom line of interest, which is survival with smile. An official looks for a clean-slated record in his career. When he retires with a red carpet to go. That's his aim. And after his retirement, he mulls over how many people he has helped in his life. You know, thousands of people I have seen at the age of 65, 70, when I walk with them, many come and thank them. Sir, when you were the officer there, you helped me on that particular day, sir. I thought it was a big problem, but you made it look smaller. You went out of the way to look after me. My gratitude to you. These are called blessing in disguise. This is what gives us good health. This is what gives us peace of mind. This is what gives our children a mode of example of our life. Now entrepreneurs are struggling. COVID has given us a shock. Tell me, every one of you who is listening to this program, we are all educated people. Can we classify, is it an unlock in lockdown or is it a locking in unlock? Can anybody classify this? I don't understand. Today we are hearing from again 14th onwards, Bangalore is going again with a full lockdown. On one side, we are talking, Corona has been controlled. On the other side, the figures are coming. We are yesterday, we have touched the highest. We are going at the highest spirit. Same way, industries are reeling under the pressure of survival, whereas we are talking green shoots. Whom are we fooling? Whom are we trying to get away with? Don't we know our own finger is poking our eyes? The tear belongs to us. Instead of wiping the tears of each other's empathy, we are just talking something which we are illusioned about. Can ever be found a solution if we are illusioned? We can never find a solution. I have been telling many entrepreneurs, you cannot find a solution to a problem if you are within the problem. Please stay out of the problem. Please have a macro level of the objective of looking at the problem. You will find a solution. Necessity is the mother of invention. An entrepreneur always knows when one door closes, he will open 100 doors. An entrepreneur is a very positive guy. For example, take me. If I wind up my company, what do I do next? I'll open another company. An entrepreneur is born. An entrepreneur has has to reborn with another business activity. Allow him to resurface. Allow him to redo his mistakes. Allow him to recover from his shocks. Look at it in a pragmatic way. Problems can be discussed, many problems. I can keep on commenting. I can keep on criticizing. I can keep on blaming. But that doesn't lead us anywhere. What leads us is togetherness, holding hands, with a vengeance to fight back our life, with a vengeance to recover our losses in a shortest period of time. How many of you know? I now represent organizations. I speak to them, many people every day. How many of you know? We are all thinking that it might take minimum third quarter of 2021 for us to see the light of the day. How many of you know the women entrepreneurs are feeling totally neglected now? How many of you know 80% of startup enterprises in the last 3 years are perishing now because they don't know where to go? They are budding people. A guy like me who has spent 3.5 decades in running an industry has seen 3 times bankruptcies. So we are seasoned, we are experienced, we can manage, we can survive, we have savings. But what about a guy who has just started his life into the entrepreneurship? Can we administer a same medicine to everybody? Can only be first aid is enough for a seriously injured person? If a patient is dead, can't we at least recover his organs and give help to somebody else? We got to be very clear. We have to act fast, we have to think right, and we have to have intention right. My friends, I'm sure we have great people in this forum. Mr. Elilarasu, Aru, Pavan, all of them are great guys I have known. They do a great service to the society. I could see the list of listeners. Most of them are wonderful people I have seen giving thousands and thousands of jobs. Today, the word MSME under the new classification has changed. Do you find it necessity now to change the reclassification? I don't find it. It is like when the accident happens, instead of attending to the patients, the group of people sit and discuss why the accident happened, what we can do to prevent it, next time what should be the road mechanism to be, discussing about how to prevent much more than how to recover from the people who are suffering from the accident. Reclassification has today enabled accepting 5,000 companies. All other companies are today in this country coming under MSME. It is no more, MSME is no more a necessity to classify. It should be the other 5,000 companies which should be classified as a corporates. Rest all fall under MSME only. So earlier classification, medium has become small, small has become micro, micro earlier scheme is now left for don't know where. It's painful. My dear friends, it is easy to say IT industries are going to have 80% of their people working from home even when the normalcy returns. Does it sound nice? It doesn't, because you know what? If close to about 3 crores of the IT employees, which is 80%, are going to be working from home, look at the people who will be losing their income generation. The car owners, the drivers, the bus owners, maintenance staff, rental income dependents, and the cafeterias, canteens, the food suppliers. Everybody is going to reel under the pressure. The sector which created lakhs and lakhs of self-employment in this country are going to see zero income. What have we done for them? Yeah, prevention is better than cure. We are neither doing the cure, we are not preventing the patient also. Then what? Enjoy the death. Can we ever enjoy a death? Never, ever, ever. We can only enjoy creations. We can never enjoy a death. I stop here. I would like to listen more. I'm sure there is a question and answer session. This is a subject I can go on and on and on because I don't speak with a script. I speak from here. And what I speak from here is what I think here. And what these two tell me is what my tongue is speaking. I liberate myself. I hone myself. I become perfected when I listen to people like you. Mr. Franco, sir, I stop here. I would rather like to listen more.